Here are 5 mistakes that A-level students make in their exams that you should avoid if you want to do well in your exams. You see the way I'm looking there and there, like that's the camera, that's the screen, I'm looking at myself here, I'm looking at you here. These are all mistakes that I've made at some point during my GCSE time or my A-level time, and I know that by not doing these, you will do better. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1, which is wasting your free period. Now I know, when you get a free period, you feel like it's time to rest, you don't want to do any work. Some colleges let you leave, you go get Starbucks, Costa, food, Mackey's, KFC, anything. You just want to leave the premises. The times which I got ahead over other students was when I spent my free period studying. So a lot of my friends would go KFC, Mackey's, whatever, and it's calm to do that. Some free periods I would just go out, I wouldn't do work all the time. But it wasn't every free period. That I was wasting. Most of my free periods I'll spend going over work that I did the day before, or I would be doing my homework in it. This way I'm either recapping content that I've revised, or by doing homework I'm getting ahead, so I don't have to do homework at home. I can revise at home and therefore improving my grades. Trust me, by sitting down for a good 45 minutes in a free period, you get yourself so far ahead. It left me more time to revise at home, I ended up revising more content, and I always had less work to do. The second one is quite obvious, but a lot of people still don't do it, and it's not using past paper questions. The best way to revise is using past paper questions. It's not the only way you should revise, but the best addition to your revision is past paper questions. I didn't use past paper questions during my GCSEs, and I can see why I didn't do as well as I should have, or I could have. However, during my 2 years at college, I did do past paper questions on a consistent basis. Like you can see from my grades, I got 6 in GCSE biology, got 8 in A-level biology, got 7 in GCSE chemistry, got A star, 97% in my A-level chemistry. But by doing past paper questions, you're applying your knowledge. A lot of people are revising, right? You revise throughout the week and you've got the content in your head, but you don't know if you know it properly, or if a related question came with an exam, would you be able to answer it? Well, past paper questions are there for you to see if you would be able to. The thing with past paper questions as well is you get to see what content you need to work on. There's questions that you can easily get right. If you do multiple past paper questions, you will see that over the couple of exams, there's similar questions that you get right all the time. But there'll also be questions that you don't get right, and then you can see what you need to focus your revision on. You have to do past paper questions in college. I don't think there's any way you can get A stars or A's without doing past paper questions. Now time for the third tip. This one is being shy in lesson. Now, during GCSEs, I didn't like to talk much in lesson. I never used to put my hand up. I never used to chat to the teacher. And in college, I decided to be more confident. Because I went to my high school sixth form, it hadn't been that developed. Therefore, not many students went there. And each of our lessons had maybe 10 to 15 people in it, max. So I was more confident to put my hand up and ask a question or ask the teacher to explain the topic to me. And during these lessons, when the teacher explains it to you, it changes everything, genuinely. Sometimes I won't understand something and I'll think to my head, or I'll just learn it later at home, I'll try and understand it later. But when I ask the teacher to explain it on the spot, it helps so much. This is genuinely, I think, the main reason I improved so much from GCSE to college, the fact that I started asking questions in lesson. This helped a lot, especially for maths, trying to understand why each question, each step is done during a question. A lot of students don't do it, but genuinely, it doesn't matter. Don't be shy. A lot of my friends ask me, I'll be getting some of the highest grades in the exams, right? And my friends will be asking, when I ask a question in lesson that might seem stupid, my friend will come up to me, I remember he came up to me and said, you're getting the highest grades in the class, but you're asking the most stupid questions. But that's how I understand. That's how I get on to getting the highest grades in our class. Don't feel uncomfortable asking questions, because a lot of the time there's someone else in the class that has the exact same question as you. They're just not going to ask it. Fourth one is leaving it for later. Now, everyone does this. You've got an exam coming up or you've got revision that you need to do and you just leave it for later because it's not that time yet. Don't do this during college because all your work is going to add up. It's best to just keep revising on a consistent basis. Revise for all your exams. A lot of people do not revise for all their exams during the year. Exams are there for you to test your knowledge of the content you've learned so far. Mocks are a great example. A lot of people don't revise for their mocks. If you put in full effort into your mocks, you can see how well you can actually do, or how much of the content you already know. By putting effort into all your exams and not leaving it for later and just not focus on your final exam, it makes your final exam easier for you because you put in the effort throughout the year. So at each step, you've been learning it properly. Or if you revise properly for an exam and you didn't do well enough, you can see that your revision method isn't working and you should probably follow Study Plate on either YouTube or TikTok to see how to revise. Now, the fifth tip, I've left it to the end because obviously not every person does this, but it's taking 4 A-levels. Don't take 4 A-levels, it's not worth it. Unis do not care if you have 4 or 3 A-levels or 5 or 6. They don't care. They want 3 A-levels and that's it. It doesn't make a difference to them if you have 6 A-stars or 3 A-stars. But by taking 4 A-levels, you're hindering your other 3. And what I mean by that is that you're going to be focusing a lot of time on this 4th A-level, which you could be spreading across the other 3. And by focusing on that 4th one, you're hindering your other 3. So you're not doing well enough in the other 3. For me, this was physics. I was doing physics as my 4th A-level. However, when I dropped physics, I got extra free period during the day. I got more time to revise at home and got to spend more time revising my other 3, maths, chemistry, biology, which I obviously did quite well in. It's good to take 4 A-levels at the start just to see which one you enjoy the most and which ones are best for you and which ones you think you will do best in. But if you know what you want to do in uni, if you know what subjects you like and which ones you're going to do best in, then just pick them 3. Don't pick a 4th one. So that's it for this top 5 mistakes that I think A-level students make. Sorry if it was a short video. I mean, there's not much I could have put in it, but I am trying with this YouTube thing. I promise you, I am trying. It's just taking a lot of time. Editing and recording does take a lot of time out of my uni, and I have to prioritize my uni work. But if you want to see me on a daily basis and you don't already, then go check out my TikTok. I post there pretty much every day. It's the same as my YouTube study plate. Also follow my Instagram. I'm aiming for 1,000 followers there. I'm on 750 now approximately. So yeah, study plate as well. So yeah, check that out. But subscribe, I've got many videos coming soon, and yeah, thank you for watching.